Hi, in this video, we're going to learn how to build authentication and user flows. We're going to look into this thing called Lovable Cloud, how to set up a database, how to configure workflows for new users and returning users, all by using the client ID and the user stories from the previous videos. Now, you start by navigating to your Lovable app. And on the top of your app preview screen, there's a Cloud button. Click on that Cloud button, and it's going to give you a blue button for you to enable Lovable Cloud. So what this does is to set up a database for you to manage all your app data, things like user registration, user login, logouts, and transaction data. Once you click Enable Cloud, you will see that the chat panel will also prompt you to allow for cloud functions in your app. So go ahead, click that Allow button in the side chat and let the magic happen. After a while, your database will be set up and ready for you to configure. Now here's where things get a little bit tricky. Go to the right of the screen where you see Users and click on Auth Settings. You will then see a screen that lets you choose how new users can register for your app. Click on the Email option and toggle the email sign-in off and turn on Password HIBP chat. Then click Save. The reason why we're doing this is because we want to make user sign-ups seamless. And for that, we don't want email sign-ups, we want Google sign-ups. So next step, as you might expect, click on Google and enable Google Sign-In. Now here's where you're going to find your first real technical roadblock in this class. When you try to save these settings, the screen will tell you that you need a Google Client ID and a Google Client Secret. Yeah, this part is quite technical, but don't worry, we can do it together. Before you do anything, go to the callback URL for authentication field and copy the URL address by clicking the copy button. Save that somewhere. Now, remember how you already set up a Google Cloud account in the previous video? Let's go back to where you left off from there. You should have been in this screen where you were just about to create a client ID, and then I told you to stop. It didn't make sense then, but it will make sense now. So let's start by giving your client a name. In this case, Taskmaster, or whatever you've chosen to call your app. Next, we're going to add authorized JavaScript origins. For this, just add the website address that your app has been published to. For my app, I published it to taskmaster-demo.lovable.app. So I'm going to add it in. Next step, we have to add authorized redirect URIs. Now remember the callback URL you copied from Lovable just a minute ago? Paste that into this field and you're done. Next, click the blue Create button and you should see your client ID and client secret. You're going to copy both to a secure location so that you can use them later. Now go all the way back to the side panel and click on Client, and you should see that you have just created a client ID. Now the next few steps are also going to be quite technical, and I've swapped to a yellow pointer. It should help you better navigate this Google service. Now what we want everyone to do is use their Google account to sign up for your app. So we need to publish this client ID you just created and make it public. So go ahead, click on Audience, and then you'll see there's an option to publish your app. Go ahead, click on that, and again on the Confirm button to publish your app or your client ID. This will then allow anyone with a Google account to register for your app. From here, you can go back to Lovable, to where the authorization settings were, paste the client ID and client secret that you copied back into their respective fields. The client ID goes into the Google Client ID field, and the client secret goes into the Google Client Secret field. Click Save, and you have successfully configured your app for quick Google signups. Finally, you can now create the user signup and authentication feature. Now, this part is simple. Remember the user story you created for this step 2 videos back? Use Notion to extract the user story or just copy it manually. And then you paste it into the Lovable chat bar. Make any adjustments you want, then click Submit. What Lovable then does is to create the various login and sign up buttons and link it to your Google Authentication infrastructure that you just set up. It should take a minute or two for Lovable to finish this work. And when it's done, go to the upper right of your screen, click on the blue Publish button, and then on the Update button. Once your app has been updated, go to where your app has been published, and let's test your Google sign-in function. Now, everyone's app is going to look a little bit different, so you've got to test things out for yourself. For my app, I click the Get Started for Free button, and now I'm routed to a Continue to Google page. When I click on that Sign In with Google button, I am automatically signed up for the app, and I can start using the application. Now, obviously, your app isn't complete, and you probably have to instruct Lovable to create other features. In my example, it clearly hasn't created any memory or saving function because when I log in again, the task that I previously created, it vanished. But I'm going to leave the fine-tuning to you. That's where it's going to be fun and your own creation. And really, that's it. Within the span of just a few minutes, you've created a complex user authentication flow, and you can monitor user behaviors just like a real development team would. This is the last video in Class 2. In the next series of videos, we will learn how to better guide Lovable with something called a product requirements document, and also learn a new way to prompt for consistent output. Then, we're also going to create a welcome image for your app's landing page to make your app more snazzy and more complete. I'll see you in those videos.